Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. اللهم ارزقنا فهم النبيين وحفظ المرسلين وإلهام الملائكة المقربين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا زدنا علما وارزقنا فهما اللهم تقبل منا يا كريم يا كريم يا كريم. بسم الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I want to congratulate everyone for reaching this point, the month of Ramadan. We're at the end, almost at the end. You know, SubhanAllah, we're almost at the end. I want to congratulate everyone for how much they've done, their efforts. This is a blessing that we're able to do this. We're able to fast. We're able to hold our tongues. We're able to hold our bad intentions. We're able to cultivate sincerity. That's something that we really need to be appreciative of. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one that gave all of this for us. It's a blessing. It's an opportunity of Ramadan. It's an opportunity of fasting. So inshallah, for this final fast reminder and this final Ramadan reflection, inshallah, I wanted to reflect on throughout Ramadan and the purpose of Ramadan and some preparation in the Eid, inshallah, and to see, what's going to happen with Eid. What is after Ramadan? What is Ramadan to us? That's a big fundamental question that we have to ask ourselves. What did we gain out of Ramadan? Because Ramadan is that guest that comes. How did we treat that guest? And that guest is already letting go. Right? That guest is already letting go. And how are we saying goodbye to that guest? Do we want to see that guest again? Right? We want to see that guest again. Right? So that's something that we think about after all this month of Ramadan. There's some moments that we feel that Ramadan is going. When someone that you very much adore, someone that you love is going away, when you have when you're separating between a loved person, there's a sense of bittersweet sentiment feelings. It's bitter, but it's sweet as well, because inshallah they will be with us again. Did I do enough? Could I have done more? Did we come up short? Did we do our best? Right? Those are some questions that we ask ourselves that, I wish I could have done more. Right? I wish I could have done this. I wish I gave more attention to the other person. I wish I could have given more during this Ramadan. I wish. Right? It's a whole wish list. But when we think about Eid, the meaning of Eid itself comes from the word "ada ya'udu," to return. It's for us to return. This guest is going to return, inshallah, next year, if we make it, inshallah. We also have the idea of what truly is the purpose of Ramadan, what truly is the purpose of our fasting. Because I said yesterday, we have our struggles with fasting, we have our struggles with Ramadan. But we have to step the level up in terms of what are we gaining out of Ramadan? Is it the hunger that we're only gaining? Is it the thirst that we're only gaining? Or is there something more to it? Right? what did I gain out of fasting? What did I gain out of all of this? Because the idea of Ramadan, the idea of fasting, the idea of us praying is for us to return to Allah. There's a saying that we say when someone passes away. What's the saying when someone passes away? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. This is when someone passes away. It can sound very morbid in the sense of returning to Allah, going through death, thinking about death. But as well, we realize that this is the purpose of where we are and who we are. Because at the end of the day, we are going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the main purpose of fasting itself. That's what we need to focus. That's what we need to realign ourselves with this month of Ramadan, with our fasting, inshallah. There's some of the sentiments that come into fasting, coming to Ramadan, when we're leaving Ramadan, when we're going to miss the sense of communal spirits, the sense of the spirits of Ramadan, is that there's a sense of missing. There's a sense of longing. I want this. Right? I want this. Right? Because sometimes we go through the motions. Alhamdulillah, we finished our last final Taraweh. It's very tiring as well. The Prophet, when he was asked, it's so tiring and everything, his legs were swelling. We have our own kind of sores. My back's hurting a bit. The Prophet ﷺ, he answered when he was asked, why are you still praying? Why are you still doing this? Can I not be a servant that is thankful? Can I not have gratitude? This month is a month of gratitude. It's a month of appreciation. We appreciate what we have. Just a little bit of food and water, it agitates us. I can't handle it. But then when we have our food and water, we realize that's how the world works. It's up and down. And we realize that we are totally in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are totally in need of God. Just some bare necessities that are taken away, and we're sugar. We can't handle it. Right? There's a friend, he was trying to catch KEAMANAN over here. He was flying in from Dallas. But unfortunately, his flight got delayed. He was supposed to make it here at 11 o'clock. He's making here to LA, landing at realignment with the divine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? That's the whole goal of this. Right? With all what's going on in Ramadan and so on and so forth, that's what we're trying to look for. We're longing for Allah. We're longing for the longing of Allah. That's something very deep, because we can always pray, we can always do the checklist, but Allah is not really seeing the performative actions that we perform, that everyone's seeing, but it's in the hearts. Did our hearts change during this month? That's also a big thing, because I had teachers where they don't just ask, how are you? Kayfa haluk? But they ask, Kayfa qalbuk? How is your heart? How is your heart? We ask that question during this month of Ramadan. And that's the mindset. We're going to have At-Thohir, and so we're going to talk about it, Eid, just to have a refresher about Eid and so on and so forth. When we say Allahu Akbar, the meaning of Allahu Akbar, some say Allah is the greatest. There's a more precise meaning. Allah is great. And then we fill in the blanks. What is Allah greater than? Allah is greater than the issues that I'm going through at this very moment. Allah is greater than the problems that I'm facing. Allah is greater than my mental issues that I'm going through. Allah is greater in the stereotypical mass media of Allah Akbar, it's turned into something where quote-unquote terrorists and extremists and so forth, we need to bring it back. We need to say Allahu Akbar. And we really have to mean Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater than everything. God is greater than everything. The Sahaba, they used to chant this outside in the streets. Interestingly enough, about the Muslims of the past, the Muslims of America, the Muslims before the Indonesians here, there used to be Muslims of the enslaved people of Africa when they came and they were taken. Some of them were known to sing the praises of God, to sing the praises of the Mohammedans, meaning from way back when they were saying the salawat, Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. 300 years ago, 200 years ago, 400 years ago, the praises of God was here in this land. And that's something that we need. We remember God, it gives a sense of tranquility. It keeps us grounded. We know what we're doing. We know who we are. Because if we're people that we don't know who we are, we can't remember. With our neighbors as well, when we share this beautiful Eid, inshallah. But some things about Eid, that was a tangent. Alhamdulillah. Don't forget to break your fast, literally breakfast, before you go out into your Eid prayers, inshallah. Okay? Breakfast. Carry on. That's a label that we have to live up to. Right? The standard of being Muslim, right? The standard of submitting to God. When we want to, we also want to think about who is celebrating their Eid, which is our younger people, to really enjoy Eid. That's a challenge for the parents right here. To really have that sense of like, okay, I want my kids to really feel Eid. That I'm looking forward to it. Don't be shy on your money. I'm reminded of there's a Supreme money gun. Spread that money with the family. Don't hold back, because they'll remember that, okay, $5 is enough, because boba right here, $5, you can get something. That's the sentiment that we need to bring. That's what we need. Because if you're not doing that, of being Muslim from, if it's not from here, if it's not from the media, if it's from their friends, if it's from society, where are they loving